What's up, future Coloradans? Today we're going to break down pros and cons of living in Castle Rock, Colorado. Let's go. Guys, I'm Tim Cameron, Realtor for the Denver area, South Metro Denver, Castle Rock, and all the surrounding suburbs. If you are thinking of a relocation here to the state, I would love to help be your resource and get you set up for success on your move in and around Denver. But today, we are specifically highlighting my hometown of Castle Rock, Colorado, and why this is such a popular place and why it has exploded with growth in the last few years. So starting out, we're going to go with pro number one. A reason a lot of people love living here is it is a beautiful, picturesque place to live with a ton of outdoor activities. And we'll just list off a couple of them. There are too many to list, but as you can see throughout the city, there are tons of hiking and biking trails. Whether you're into mountain biking or rock climbing, there is something nearby here for everyone. So Castlewood Canyon State Park is one of our favorite state parks that's outside the city of Castle Rock, and it's a great place to go take the family. Even little ones can get out and go for a hike on these trails. There's waterfalls. There's also some rock climbing that you can do there. It's just a fabulous place to go check out. And here's a quick little insider tip. When you are moving to the state of Colorado, something that our state recently did is when you register your vehicle here in the state, they do add on a little fee. You can opt out of it, but it's to access to all of the state parks. It's something pretty nominal, like 30 bucks. So if you do end up going to the state parks and visiting 2 to 3 times, that ends up paying for itself. So it's kind of well worth it if you plan on doing a lot of outdoor activities. Like I said, just 2 or 3 times and it ends up paying for itself. And then you don't have to check in at the gate and pay the 10 to 12 bucks every time you're visiting a state park. So insider tip, once you move here, look out for that. Number 2 on the list of the picturesque and cool things to do in and around Castle Rock, I always like to tell people when they're visiting, check out the MAC or the Miller Activity Complex. This is put on by the city of Castle Rock. There is a recreation center down there, and there's also a ton of outdoor activities. Not only an amphitheater where they host concerts in the summer, but lots of trails for mountain biking or hiking. They have a zip lining course that you can pay for access to, and it's got some amazing views that you can check out while you're zip lining, as well as a couple other adventure towers, things that are kind of like American Ninja Warrior style structures that kids absolutely love. A climbing tower, you can have a free fall, not a free fall jump, but kind of a bungee type controlled jump off of the adventure tower too. So if you're an outdoor enthusiast, you love doing things, you love outdoor recreation, it is a great place to hang out. And not to forget our outdoor water activities. We have the Reuters Hess Reservoir that's just a short drive away. It's kind of in the Castle Pines Parker area, but very close, you know, a 10-minute drive from Castle Rock, where you can do some paddle boarding and some swimming. They don't allow motorized boats in there, so if you're going to be out there and jet ski or do some wakeboarding and things, Chatfield Reservoir is probably your best bet for that. But Castle Rock has a ton of outdoor activities for you, and one of the favorite reasons people love calling it home. Let's get to a con real quick. A con of living in Castle Rock is commuting. So Castle Rock, while it's exploding with growth, a lot of that has been residential, and there's a lot of businesses coming in and continues to grow, but a lot of the people that live in Castle Rock actually work outside the city, or maybe they're hybrid remote workers. So a lot of people up into the Denver Tech Center area or the Lone Tree area, where we have a huge Charles Schwab headquarters, or they may work at the hospital here in Castle Rock, but there is a lot of commuting that a lot of people have to do. Now, traffic in Castle Rock is generally not too bad when you compare it to a lot of the other big cities, and it's definitely not as bad a traffic as you'll get in that interior corridor of Denver. But if you do have to commute from Castle Rock up into Denver, you plan for a little bit extra long commute. You're probably about 25-30 minutes from most of the things in the Denver Tech Center. Or if you are commuting to Colorado Springs or the Monument area, you're probably looking at about a 30-35 minute commute to those areas. So commuting in Castle Rock, kind of a con, but a lot of people do like not being right within that city. You kind of have a small town feel with all your suburban amenities as well. Pro number 2, we're going to talk about community and just kind of the vibe of Castle Rock. You know, Castle Rock is a very family-friendly community. You have a lot of festivals and things to do with families. There's always something happening in Castle Rock, whether that's, you know, a car show in the downtown area around the Father's Day time, 4th of July parades and festivals, farmers markets just about every Saturday in downtown during the summer. You also have a lot of neighborhood activities. There's HOAs, so they, will put on different things like festivals in the park. So there's a lot of family activities in and around Castle Rock, and there's a reason a lot of people, once they decide to start having a family and have kids, that they decide to move to a town like Castle Rock. Castle Rock also ranks very highly every year when it comes to community safety and one of the safest neighborhoods in the state, safest communities in the state. So I know that's high on your priority list. As a dad, it was very important. You want a safe community for your family, and it always ranks near the top of the safety rankings for the state of Colorado. Okay, con number 2. We're going to talk about affordability. Now, Castle Rock does have a higher cost of living, and most of that is tied to the median home price. Now, about 7-8 years ago, Castle Rock was one of the most affordable towns in the Denver metro area. People thought, it's too far out there, it's too far away from everything. They don't have all the suburban amenities yet, and you could get a great value down here in Castle Rock and even the Parker area, one of the sister cities of Castle Rock. But that has changed over the last few years, especially after the frenzy of 2020, 2021, when the real estate market just exploded all over Colorado. Castle Rock was not immune to that, and the average price for a single family home is right around $600,000 here in the town of Castle Rock. And we do have a lot of neighborhoods that goes above that price point as well. So if you're looking for a starter home, we do have neighborhoods that will accommodate that, where you can still get a starter single family home for right around $500,000, sometimes a little bit less than that, for a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath home with a private yard. It's going to be some of the older communities around Castle Rock. But if you're looking for a little bit newer, maybe you're stepping up from a townhome or a condo, you can probably expect to spend in the range of $600,000 to $700,000 for the average home here in Castle Rock. Now, there are a lot of townhomes and condominiums being built and apartment complexes, so we do have, a pretty strong rental market. A lot of the rentals that are around Castle Rock are higher end luxury apartments, so they're not going to be the most affordable either, but we do have options if you're looking for more affordable options. And we do have some other cities. If you're thinking of a move to the Colorado area, make sure you hit me up, because if Castle Rock isn't the right town for you, I know of a ton of other neighborhoods and spots that would be just perfect for you. Okay, pro number 3, and I kind of tied this into our pro number 2 with a lot of family-friendly activities, but it's very, very kid-friendly. A ton of stuff to do with kids. I personally have a very large family, a lot of kids, and one of our favorite things to do is go and explore all the different parks in and around Castle Rock. Not only will you probably have a park that's within walking distance of your home, but there's also a ton of different open spaces, playgrounds, rec centers, things to do outdoors that are free for families. And if you got a big family, might find free is very important. Your favorite activity is generally one you can do for free. So ton of outdoor things to do, ton of parks, playgrounds, and amenities for kids. Okay, and this next factor kind of falls into the neither pro nor con. It just is what it is. Some people feel it's a pro and feel it's a con. And that's the weather here. Weather here in Colorado can be kind of bipolar at times, but we do get a ton of days of sunshine and we don't have that much severe weather. Now, some people leave Colorado because they just get fed up with the snow in the winter. It's generally not as bad as some people think. Even in Castle Rock, where we're a little bit higher in elevation, you've often heard Denver called the Mile High City, being 1 mile above sea level. In Castle Rock, we're a little bit even higher than that. We're about 6,200 feet above sea level, so we do tend to get just a little bit more snow in the winter, but generally it's similar to Denver and where it's cleared off in a couple of days and we don't have our long streaks of cold weather and snow. Yes, January and February are probably our coldest months here in Castle Rock, and we do get the most snow in the February and March timeframes, but we have a ton of beautiful days here in Castle Rock. 300 days of sunshine here in Colorado and not a lot of severe weather. Like I mentioned, the most severe weather that we actually get in most parts of the state is not heavy snowfall, but hailstorms. We're fairly immune from tornadoes. We don't get them very often unless you're on the far eastern plains of Colorado, where you're getting more into the country prairie farmland. You're not butted up against the mountains. But generally most of Denver metro area and south to Castle Rock, we don't get a ton of severe weather minus hailstorms every spring and summer. Okay, pro number 4, if you're thinking of a move to Castle Rock is still growing at a fast pace. We're getting a ton of new coming into the area. The city is actually very business friendly and encouraging a lot of new businesses to come into Castle Rock. So there is opportunity for growth if you're thinking of starting a new business. You know, Castle Rock may be a great option for you. We still, even though we have a lot of our modern suburban amenities, there's still a lot of room for growth and a few things that you'd think we'd have. Castle Rock, we don't have a bowling alley. I don't know, they never thought of putting one in. Usually in small towns, that's one of the first things you put in. We have a lot of the suburban amenities, but there are still a few things lacking in Castle Rock that will be coming in hopefully in the near future. So if you're entrepreneurial, you want to start a new business, and you're thinking of a new spot to house that business, Castle Rock may be a great option for you. Okay, another con to Castle Rock is there's not a lot of nightlife here. And not a con for me, being a dad, and that phase of my life is over. But if you are young and you really enjoy the club scene and you like a lot of bars and nightclubs and nightlife, Castle Rock isn't going to offer a lot of that to you. There's going to be better options for you closer to Denver and the Aurora area. Now, Castle Rock does have a lot of breweries and restaurants, and so you can do a lot of brewery tours and different things like that. And it's very popular with a lot of the locals. But as far as bars and nightlife scene, there's not a ton of that. So if you're looking for more of a nightlife scene and you want that close by, probably a place in Denver or Littleton may be a better fit for that. But if you're like, hey, I only want that once in a while, I can travel for that, Castle Rock is still a great option for you. So there you have it. Let's recap some of the pros of living in Castle Rock. Very beautiful, picturesque, ton of outdoor activities and amenities. Lots of trails, biking trails, hiking trails, ton of outdoor activities for you and your family to do. Very family-friendly community, quiet suburban life, and a lot of new businesses coming in and a lot of growth happening in this city. Cons to Castle Rock. Some people don't like the location. They think it's too far away from things in Denver or things in Colorado Springs. That could be a con for people. The commute can be a con for people that are living or working in Denver, living in Castle Rock. Not a lot of nightlife options. And the weather, some people love it, some people hate it. Neither a con nor a pro, it just is what it is, but we do not have a ton of severe weather, so I would say that's a huge pro in my book. Now, if you guys are thinking of a move to Colorado, whether that's Castle Rock or any of the other amazing suburbs in and around Denver, make sure you hit me up. Call, text, or email. I answer your calls day and night to make sure that you are set up for success on your move in and around Castle Rock. If I could be a resource for you, I would absolutely love it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel while you're here, and we'll see you on the next one.